the first thing we would want to do is maybe group up and bounce these audio files as one. Now, I can always mark up like this a piece of the arrangement where I want these two files to occupy. So imagine I had these two impacts and I wanted to make them one audio file. I could right click them and say consolidate. Now these are consolidated into one audio file, one big audio file, occupying the space I had just formerly selected. I can do that with shorter, longer files, of course, and a very important piece of this is bouncing MIDI information. So just as easily, I could turn this MIDI and the instrument that's playing on that MIDI track into audio. Now, the easiest way to do that is right-click on the channel and say freeze track. Now, once this is done, what I actually do have right here is this MIDI information playing the synth, going through the EQ, and then producing audio which is recorded and superimposed on this MIDI information. So we're not actually getting any MIDI playing the synth. That's all frozen. That's all stopped. The process is not spending our CPU. We actually have audio of that replacing this. Now, if I wanted to see that, I could just right-click again and go flatten. Now I have that same track playing, but audio. Instead of that MIDI playing the synthesizer, I have the actual audio file and I can use it however I please. I can actually cut it up, chop it up, use it, drag it in a sampler, whatever the use might be for you. But if I go back to this channel being frozen, not flattened out, so not really bounced, it still is audio. Now I could create a new track right there. Let me just exit the full screen mode. So create a new audio track right underneath, and I could selectively just pull any part of this MIDI, which is now audio, into this audio track and get audio from it. See that? I can even extract it by holding Control, and then I would copy that. I would still have all of this right there, and I could retain that and use this audio for something else, like putting that into a sampler, chopping it up, doing some kind of a weird break out of it, processing it more, or whatever else your imagination drives you to. A good thing about this, having a channel frozen and knowing that it's playing actually the audio export of this, is that at any time if I wanted to change anything, let's say the automation that was there, I could just unfreeze it and it goes back to its original state where it's MIDI, sending MIDI information to the synthesizer through the EQ, where I can change anything I want. Now I am using more CPU like this, but I could then freeze it again once I make any changes I wanted, and then again have audio out of it. A good thing to know is when you bounce channels like this, when you freeze them and you export them to audio, you're giving yourself more leeway and leverage for later. So in a few years when you open this project, who knows how many of these instruments or effects you don't have in that new system installed, or if you bring that project to a friend's place or send it to another producer to work on it, to make a remix out of it, it's really good if you have all of the audio for it, since they might not have the same instruments. They might not have the same versions of instruments that support the preset that was made inside of them. So having a backup like this, where everything is audio, ensures that you have all the original audio files and that you have all the original sounds that were in that song.